Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And today we are talking about the spell Evard's Black Tentacles or Black Tentacles. And they used either name kind of interchangeably. This is the legacy version that's up here right now. We're going to be talking about this a little bit, revisiting it, going over what we gave it. And we're going to be talking about the new one. There's a slight change, couple slight changes with the new one, but they are pretty significant about their interactions with the 2024 rules. So we're going to look at them. We're going to compare and contrast. We're going to highlight the new things. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any question or comment, please leave a question or a comment. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. All right. So, back in the day, we gave this spell an A+. I like any one of these spells that traps things, control things, and that you can push things back in and use forced movement on. And this was a great one. You took an action, a bunch of tentacles showed up in a 20-foot square. They were not friendly to your allies, so you had to be careful about that. But when a creature entered the affected area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, then it had to make a dexterity saving throw, or it took damage and it was restrained. And restrained was and is still a very nasty condition. And then if it starts its turn in the area and it's already restrained, it took some damage. It wasn't a lot of damage. You couldn't upcast this spell. And then there was an escape. Okay, so that was Evard's Black Tentacles Legacy version. Let's look at the 2024 version. Here is the 2024 version. So, still a 4th level spell, still 1 action, still a range of 90 feet, still a 20-foot radius, still 1 minute, still concentration. Squirming ebony tentacles fill a 20-foot square on ground that you can see within range. For the duration, these tentacles turn the ground in that area into difficult terrain, so that's the same. Each creature in that area makes a strength saving throw, so that's different, and I don't like strength saving throws, so that is kind of a nerf. Dexterity saving throws were a more preferred saving throw. They were harder to make. Things didn't have as high of a dexterity as they do strength. Strength is actually the worst one. You want to hit an opponent with something. Strength is the worst one to target, then con, then dex, then I would say probably wisdom, charisma, and lastly, intelligence. So strength saving throw, not great. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 bludgeoning damage. Now this happens when you cast the spell. So each creature in that area. So it should say each creature in that area when you cast the spell, but it's each creature in that area that the spell fills has to make it. The legacy version was they had to enter it or start their turn in it. So you would cast it and it wouldn't do anything at all until they started their turn. So this one, it does something right away, but it's a strength saving throw. So if it fails, it takes 3d6 damage, and it has the restrained condition. So restrained is, there it is right there. Its speed becomes 0. Attack rolls against it have advantage, and its attack rolls have disadvantage, and it has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. That was one of the big ones. So fireballs and lightning bolts can come out. So, and again, it was a move of 0. So a creature that also makes the save, if it enters the area, and I think this is a typo, or ends its turn. I think they meant to say its turn, or ends its turn there. So now if it enters it, you get a save. If it ends its turn there, it gets another, it has to make another save. A creature that can make the save only once per turn. A restrained creature can take an action to make a strength check, athletics check to get out, which is the DC of the spell. And so, every time they take that saving throw, they have a chance of taking damage and becoming restrained. So it just kind of renews and renews and renews. So all in all, I'm going to keep the spell at an A+ for two very specific things. I don't like that they made it a strength saving throw, but here's the big one. This spell was usable by wizards and Great Old One warlocks in the Legacy version. In the 2024 version, it is usable by wizards and aberrant sorcerers. So, as you know, sorcerer is my favorite 2024 class now. And so let's take a look at that. So we get sorcerers now, and we get aberrant sorcerers. So there it is, right there on the list. Evard's Black Tentacles. Now I don't really care about all the rest of this stuff. I guess Psionic Sorcery is okay. It is a Psionic spell for them now. So when you cast a level 1+ spell from your Psionic spell list, you can cast it by expending a spell slot as normal or spending sorcery points. That's okay. That's okay. The big one that we want is Heightened Spell. That's the big one. And then we also get, where is it? It's up here. Innate Sorcery. So we also get Innate Sorcery. So we increase the DC by 1, and we can use spell points to heighten it, which means they have disadvantage on every saving throw in that spell. One target of the spell, disadvantage on saves against the spell. So as long as they're in it, they're going to take, for that spell, against that spell, that creature is going to have disadvantage. And it lasts for a minute. So that's a great one. That kind of mitigates some of the strength saving throw shenanigans. Another really good thing, and we could very quickly, the Great Old One Warlock had it on their list, and they no longer they had it on their list. This is the 2024 version. They no longer have it on their list. I'm not sure why it was removed, but it was removed. So now we've got wizards, and again, you could use a divine wizard to pull out that D20, and if you had rolled low, give it to somebody and say, that is your saving throw for your strength saving throw, and then they will fail that first one at least, and they'll be stuck. So that's a good thing. So one of the great things about this spell is it interacts very well with forced movement. So a creature also makes that save if it enters the area or ends its turn, but it's only once per turn. So if it starts its turn there, or it's in it when we cast it, it makes a save. Let's say it escapes, it gets out. Now it's not out of it. So now we can push it back in there and force it to make another saving throw. And there are many ways to do that. So one way is we've got the open hand monk up here who has a push attack. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet away. So, and you could do that anytime you do your flurry of blows. So essentially you're going to get 2 opportunities to do that. With an attack random value, you can impose one of the following effects. So that's a good one. If you are a monk with Tavern Brawler, you get the push. And this is a freebie feat. This is an origin feat, which I couldn't believe. So you have Enhanced Unarmed Strike, where you can deal bludgeoning damage equal to, though you get the damage rerolls, that's a big one, but you get push. So when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike as part of the attack action on your turn, you can deal damage to the target and also push it 5 feet away from you. You can only use this benefit once per turn. So if they get out, because it's difficult terrain, they get out and they're adjacent to it, the monk can run up, hit them, and push them right back in with Tavern Brawler, and that's a freebie. And that is not tied to any kind of size either. All right, Fighter. The Fighter Battle Master has a pushing attack. When you hit a creature with an attack roll using a weapon or an unarmed strike, you can expend 1 superior, which means you could be a Battle Master monk as well and use this. You can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to drive the target back. You add the die to the damage roll, and if they are large or smaller, so this is limited by size, it must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 50 feet. Now, a lot of these are based off of strength saving throws, so they may not work. Tavern Brawler absolutely will work. Equipment-wise, we're looking at things like Pike, which have push, or we're looking at the Warhammer. So with push, if you hit a creature with this weapon, you can push that creature up to 10 feet straight away from you yourself if it is large or smaller. There's no save for that, but it is, again, limited by size. And lastly, we've got the Crusher feat, which allows you once per turn when you hit a creature with an attack roll that deals bludgeoning damage, you can move it 5 feet to an unoccupied space if the target is no more than one size larger than you. So there is a size limit for that one, but it is one size larger than you. So if you happen to have the enlarged spell on you, or you happen to be a Goliath that can grow large, then you can push huge creatures with the Crusher feat. So all kinds of ways to be able to get things in here. And I think the big one is the Restrain. And I like things having disadvantage on dexterity saving throws so that I can do all kinds of dex things to them, like lightning bolts and fireballs and all that, where they're going to fail their save and take a whole bunch of damage. And then everybody has, anybody that has ranged attacks and ranged attack rolls have advantage on them. All right, that is the video that I have for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody